Welcome everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar on climate change and energy management. My name is Ramya. I am student of IEEE department. Now I call upon Mr. V. Madhu sir, PES Chapter Advisor, Associate Professor of IEEE in Swarnandhra College of Engineering and Technology, to present the welcome address.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ramya. Hearty welcome to each and every participant, and good afternoon to everyone. So, Swarnandhra College of Engineering and Technology, IEEE Student Branch, Power and Energy System Society, celebrating 1 year anniversary. So, we got tremendous response from the global, from the student community. So, we have registrations, around 300 plus registrations. So from the various countries like Palestine, Nigeria, Zambia, Ethiopia, and other countries of the world. We have a lot of response from in India also, from various states like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Tripura, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Delhi, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, Puducherry, Kerala, Telangana, Maharashtra, and Chhattisgarh. Thank you very much. I welcome Kameswarara sir. He is very practical chief engineer in his career. So ensure that each and every person, each and every student can able to learn from. Thank you very much. Continue, Ramya.
Now I feel immense pleasure to invite our chief speaker, NSKS Kameswarara Rao. He is a lead auditor ENMS certified electrical safety engineer and Senior Manager at Nava Bharat Ventures Ltd. To continue the webinar, sir.
First of all, I thank Swarnandhra Engineering College for giving me the opportunity. Myself, as told NSKS Kameswarara Rao, I am a certified lead auditor from Energy Management System. I am a certified electrical safety officer from National Safety Council, and I am presently working as a Senior Manager in Nava Bharat Ventures Ltd. Basically, earlier I have participated in a number of seminars in CII, BEG, and Institute of Engineers, where I have presented a slides on my technical knowledge and practical implementation on energy management system, all these things. But this is the first time I am facing the students who are theoretically strong, and I am going to present my theoretical slides on this climate change and energy management. Okay, shall we start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can start, sir.
Okay, just a moment.
Recording in progress.
Is my screen visible? Hello, am I audible? Mr. Madhu? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. It's visible and
Okay, my screen is visible.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, today I am going to present a slide on climate change and energy management. So, which to cover in this presentation are climate change, greenhouse gases, global temperature, rising trend, and the impacts of the climate change, and the goals and practical steps which we can implement to what are the benefits of energy, and finally energy management system. Coming to the climate change, you know, climate change refers to the shifts in temperatures these shifts may be naturally, what do we call, sorry, these shifts may be natural. These are during the solar cycle, variations will be there. But say, due to human activities, now these are the human activities become the main driver of climate change. Fuels and coal and gas. So we know the climate change can affect our health, ability to we face some of the areas are already more vulnerable to climate impacts. So you see the conditions like sea level rise, which is in advanced stage, where we communities which are living in the islands and number of the drops which will be at a heavy risk. In future, we can say, so greenhouse gas absorbing infrared variations, thereby trapping the heat, and this heat will be the greenhouse effect and ultimately leads to the global warming.
One second, sir. 1 second.
These things are
sir. 1 second. Your voice is not audible. Your voice is not audible. Please check.
Now it is audible?
Yeah, now it is audible. Yeah.
Okay. Speak slowly. Okay. Is it audible?
Yeah, now it is audible. Yeah, it's audible.
Okay.
It's audible. Continue.
Okay. The greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, which are generated due to the burning of the projects, and fluorinated gases. So if you see that, rising, where the global mean temperature has been increasing drastically, and since from the last 5 to 6 years, it has been increasing tremendously. Face severe problems in near future. So, the global mean temperature has been increased by 0.6 degrees centigrade, and the snow cover, which has been reduced by 10% when compared with the 1960s, and 10 to 15% reduction in spring summer. And finally, the global sea level is being raised by 10 to 20 centimeters. So you see, this is the in this picture, the countries in the red color are in most at risk, and the countries at the green color are least in risk. If you see, the majority of countries from Africa and Asia are lying in these risk areas. So what we have to do as a young jobs, what we have to do, and what is our responsibility? And the next slide. So we know the climate change impact increase is high, the sea level will rise. If the sea level rises, the coastal areas will be in the very situation, and our water resources, the water will reduce, and there may be a problem, and the countries will fight for the water. The loss of habitat will be there. The agriculture will be in a difficult situation, and due to the so, in order to climate change, the conference of parties are happened in November 2021, and India, as being the fourth largest emitter, we have committed. Our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has committed the following. So those are raise the non-fuel based capacity. That is the numbers. I think 500 gigawatt, 2030. As a requirement to energy by using renewable energy sources to reduce the projected carbon emission by 1 million tons between now and 2030, and to reduce the carbon intensity by 45% and carbon by the year 2070. So 2070. So what we have to do to achieve that? Practical steps. I think for footprints. Is it? Yeah, Madhu.
Your voice is breaking, sir. Your voice is breaking.
Signal. Is it? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, it's now okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
So what are the practical steps we have to take to achieve our emission targets? So we have to improve our energy efficiency. Is the first prime this thing, because we are with a less investment we can improve our energy efficiency, and we procurement of energy efficient products, and we are eco-friendly products which we are useful for the environment, and arresting the leakages, spillages like water, chemicals, energy. We should avoid all these wastes, and we have to avoid the fire accidents which lead to the natural resources, and we have to promote non-conventional energy sources like solar, wind, biomass, tidal, etc. So what is our role as a student? I have already discussed it. We have to reduce our individual carbon footprint to achieve the national goal level. So for that, what we have to do? We are having the only, as a students which we are working in our colleges, we should concentrate on energy management, and by conserving the energy and by saving the energy, we can reduce our carbon footprint. So coming to the energy conservation and energy efficiency, basically these two words which seems to be same. What is energy conservation and what is energy efficiency? Basically, the difference is like there is a slight difference. Whereas energy conservation, which is achieved when growth in the energy consumption is reduced. For example, we are in a house and there we are using a bulb which is glowing for almost 12 hours in a day, but it is not required when then there is a lighting in the outside. So we have to switch off the light. For what we will do? We will just switch off the light to conserve the energy. So that is basically a behavioral change to reduce our energy consumption. So energy conservation is basically a behavioral change which we normally do to reduce our energy consumption. When energy efficiency is a vital word which is achieved when energy intensity in a specific product or a process is reduced without affecting the output. Say, for example, in the same house, we are having a light and we require the light. For the 12 hours, we require the light. There is no possibility of switching off the light. But what we have to do? We have to reduce the energy consumption. So for that, there is an option to upgrade or innovative idea to upgrade the lighting. So for example, if we are using the steeper lights, by replacing the T5 lights with LED, the same output of the intended light is achieved with a less consumption. That means where we are output is the same, we have achieved the same light intensity where what we require, but the input energy is reduced. So that is the main energy efficiency. So now we have to thinking. So what are the energy efficiency benefits? Fit individual, industry, nation, and globe. If you see for an individual, what is the benefit? For as an individual, the benefit is our reduced energy bills. As an industry also, what are the benefits? The benefits are energy bill reduces, and the increased competitiveness and increased productivity, improved quality, and the profits increases. So whereas coming to the nation, what is the benefit to the nation? We may reduce energy imports because we are depending on a number of energy imports from the others. So if we, our internally, if we conserve the energy or if energy efficiency is achieved, the energy imports maybe will reduce. So we can conserve the resources, and finally, in our nation, the energy security will improve. Coming to the across the global, what happens? Our main concern is on globe is GHG emissions. So if we conserve the energy, or if you take the energy efficiency activities, the GHG emissions which have been emitted by burning the fossil fuels, basically in our India, the fossil fuels is a majority fuels which we are using for the generation of the power. So if we save the energy, then our coal, corresponding coal will be saved, the emissions from the coal is reduced, and finally the environment, sustainable environment will be maintained. So coming to the energy management system, actually this is the first one, earlier version of the 50,001. I am just as a student's preliminary I am discussing that this version has been already upgraded. So what energy management system is provides? I think as a individual or as a student or as a group, we are already taking some of the initiatives for energy conservation. Like in our houses, we are replacing the T5 lights with the LED, and we are procuring the star rated equipments. Already we are taking in any case, in any industry, in any college, any house, they are already energy conservation activities are going on. But here only one thing, the systematic approach is been missing. So for systematic approach, we need one system or one tool which will help us to approach the energy efficiency in a systematic manner. The energy management system ISO 50001 is an international standard which provides a framework for energy management system, that what the organization intended to implement energy efficiency. So what will it help? It will help us in developing a policy for more efficient use of energy. It will help for industry or individual to fix the objective and targets to meet the policy, and which is a tool for a better understanding and make decision related to energy use and consumption. The energy management system will guide us how to measure the results and how to review the effectiveness, and finally it will give us the continual improvement in energy management. So what is the methodology? In any international standard, you see the standard are for management systems which will be developed on Pdca cycle. So what is Pdca cycle? It is simple word. P stands for plan, D stands for do, and C stands for check, and A stands for act. That means we have to plan ourselves, we have to implement those plans in do section, and we have to check the results during the portion, and finally we have to act. What is the result? If it is a failure, we have to replan again, and if it is a success, we have to replicate the same in other areas. So the system, energy management system, what will guide us in the section plan? Basically, in any system, what we have to do, we have to select an area where we are going to implement our system. So first, identify a boundary. For example, as a practical thing, you are the health shops students, you are not having that much of knowledge on the industry side. I am taking as a household, my own house or our own house as a area, and I am explaining the energy management, how it works in my house. So first, here boundary I have selected is my house. I will later on explain in the coming slides, where I have to establish an energy policy and I have to establish a team for executing this and this energy management system. Before going that, I have to conduct the present situation, present scenario of my house. I have to conduct an audit to know the present scenario of my house, where I am standing. So while conducting the audit, after I should identify the significant energy uses, And with the help of this energy review, I will identify and prioritize the opportunities which I have identified for the improvement. Based on this total energy review, I will establish the baseline. I will fix a target for myself, what I have to do, because I am standing for my house. I am looking for my house. If it is an industry, that is different. In my house, it is different. So I will identify the ENPA. What is ENPA? Energy Performance Indicator. So what is the indicator which shows me the improvement in my energy system? What the indicator, what is the parameter which shows the improvement in my house energy management system? I will establish the action plans. What I have done, identify the objectives. I will establish the action plans. And finally, coming to the do, while doing, we should ensure, doing means practical implementation. For practical implementation, what are the main sources? The competency of the persons. It is very much important. So whether the competency of the person is suitable for this activity, so ensure the competency of the person. If not, create the awareness among them, because industry or simply motor. What is the operation procedure of that motor? When a motor has to stop, when it has to stop, and what I have to do? What are the main requirements, pre-requirements of the motor starting, and what are the post requirements of this after starting? So this should be documented, and that should be circulated to all the team members, and it should be created. Awareness will be created on that particular topic. And next, coming to the main action in this do part is implementation of action plans which we have identified in the plan section. Plan section, I have identified a project, and now I have to implement the project, and I have to look after the status of the project. Compliance to the legal requirements. While doing so, I cannot violate my legal requirements. This is the main thing. For example, in my house, I am planning to reduce my energy bills. Can I reduce my energy bills by tampering the meter? No, it is not possible. I cannot do the energy conservation or reduce my bill by tampering the meter, because it is a legal requirement. We should not tamper the meter. Within the legal requirements, what are the requirements of standards required for a house or industry or for area? We should follow all these things, and we should implement them energy management system in our organization or college, school, house, anywhere. So next, coming to the procurement of energy efficient products, because already some of the areas we may implement some of the projects, and we are conserving the energy, and we are intended to conserve the energy. We are intended to improve the energy efficiency, but in the main basic, what we are doing, we are procuring the old what we call incandescent bulbs for lighting. Is it is it make a sense? No, it is not make a sense. We have to procure energy efficient products, because as already we are establishing the system, we should procure energy efficient products, and finally maintaining the required documents. Coming to the check portion, what we have to do in check? Simple. Until there is a monitoring, we cannot say how energy conservation happened, and how is my system is going healthy or not. So, to ensure the healthiness of the system, or to ensure the continual improvement in the system, what I have to do? I have to monitor the parameters and monitor the key characteristics, and I have to review the action plans. What I am going to implement, I am planning. I have to change this equipment for energy efficiency. I have a plan, but it is I am not changing. Yes, target. We have to implement the action plans, and we have to review the status of the action plans for the efficient improvement, and we have to review the status of objective and targets. because I have taken an objective. Is my objective has been achieving? Am I able to achieve my objects? As I am meeting my targets, I have to know. If it is not known, then it doesn't make any sense. So we have to review the status of objective and targets. And as I already know, legal compliances, meanwhile, what we have to do, all the legal compliance has been maintained or not, that also we have to check, and we have to conduct a regular internal audit. To know the healthiness, we have to check the intermediate checks for the healthiness of the system. And finally, if there is any problem, we should identify the non-conformities and we should take the corrective action and preventive action accordingly for the improvement. And finally, coming to the Act section, so what we have to do in Act, during the course of the implementation, we have to review the status, and we have to review the progress, and we have to take the appropriate decision for the improvement. Then only we achieve the continual improvement. Yes. This is the slide. Is it clearly visible?
Visible, sir.
Okay. Yes. Actually, this is a slide. Now, this part is over. I am explaining the total system in one slide of an individual house. Say, for example, in our house, I am planning to implement the energy management system. Or else in a college, in your college, as you are implementing the energy activities, you are planning to implement the energy management system. What you will do? It is a simple glimpse. It is not exactly what system is telling, but I have fabricated for you for easy understanding. So first, what we have discussed, we have to plan the management system, and accordingly we have conducted an audit. Here in a house, let us assume I have conducted an audit. In a house, there are 4 equipments which are consuming electrical energy. Here you see, energy means not the electrical energy. We have to consider thermal energy also. But here I am not showing you the thermal examples. I am showing you the electrical examples. So I have taken 4 energy uses. Energy use means the equipment which is consuming the energy. Energy use means the equipment which is consuming the energy. So what are the equipments which are consuming the energy? The tube lights are lights which are having in the house, air conditioning which is consuming energy, fridge which is consuming energy, washing machine which is consuming energy, and our stove, cooking stove. It is also consuming energy. What is the energy there? LPG. LPG is also energy. We have to consider that also. I have not considered this one. So equipment, the equipment which is consuming the energy is terminated as energy use in the energy management system. So what are the energy types? Energy type means is it consuming electrical energy or thermal energy? So I have conducted a review in a house covering above 4 equipments and noticed that the T5 lights which are a day, and that is a fridge of 3-star rated, which is running for 24 hours and consuming 48 kWh per day. And so out of these 4 equipments, which is consuming which is the highest consumer? So fridge is the highest consumer. Yes, can I simply conserve the energy by switching off and off on or off the light? But is it make a sense? For example, if you are planning a financial planning, what you will do? These are the list. You will make a list of your expenses. List. Let's say example 10 expenses are there, and you have to conserve your amount. You have to conserve your paisa. You have to conserve your rupee. What you will do? You will target on the high cost, where I am consuming the high cost. There you consume. Yes, in this area my expenditure on higher side. Then I have to reduce that expenditure, not lower expenditure where I am consuming the 1 rupee or 2 rupee per chocolate to a kid. How much I can save? I can save only 1 rupee. If I can save taking a cigarette per day in a month, how can I save? So we have to think on the significant. We have to target the significant where the significant is there, where I can save the energy. So here in the example, the major significant energy consuming is fridge. So where I can target, if I conserve the energy from the fridge, then there is a significant change in my energy bill. Okay, so I have taken fridge as significant energy use. But is it possible to change the significant energy use? You see, by conducting the audit, I have identified 2 opportunities. As an example, I identified 2 opportunities. Which is consuming more? Which is consuming more? Okay. Then I have to replace the fridge. Sorry. I have to replace the fridge. As the fridge I am having a 3-star. If I replace the fridge with 5-star, then I may be able to conserve the energy. So for that, what I have to do? I have to make an investment of 35,000 rupees. And if I calculate the savings which I have achieved in 96 kWh, and the payback is coming around 73 months. So for saving the energy, if I have investing this much of cost for replacing the existing AC with a 5-star AC, in my opinion, it does not make a sense, because we have to see the payback period also. Because
Sir, your voices are not audible. Kamesh sir, your voice.
Sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, visible. Yes, visible.
Okay. So for conserving only matter of 96 kWh, can I invest 35,000 rupees? So it doesn't make a sense. Even though. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, continue.
Okay. Sorry. So next opportunity what I have identified is replacing the existing T5 lights. In my house I am having a T5 light with 18-watt LED, where I have to invest 5,000 rupees, and then the payback is 30 months. Even though it is also on higher side, but comparing these two, but I have to ultimately I have to conserve the energy. So by identifying these 2 opportunity, I have prioritized the opportunity. I have to prioritize the opportunity which I will implement first. So in my opinion, I will try to implement second one. So that's why I have given the top priority for that one. Okay. So what about the first one? Okay, I will agree that I cannot invest that much of amount, but can we just forget about that one? No, because there we are consuming significant energy. So we should do something. So further, we have to identify the variables which is causing the energy consumption. So for example, for a light in a room, for a light, what are the variables? Daylighting. If daylighting is available, it is a variable. The daylighting will vary from day to day. I cannot say same lux level from the sun is coming into my house daily. That lux levels from the sun which is coming into my house, it will vary time to time. So daylighting is a variable. So by seeing the variable, when there is a cloudy on the outside, I will switch on the lights. When the lighting is good, I will switch off the lights. Okay. Coming to the air conditioners. Sorry. There are also some of the variables which are impacting the performance, energy performance of the ACs. What are those variables? Ambient temperature. If ambient temperature is high, what we will do? We will switch on the ACs. In the winter season, what we will do? We will switch off the light. That means my AC consumption will vary from summer to winter. That means this is one of the variable, and the seasonal variations are there. So this ambient temperature is one of the variables. And next, opening in the rooms. Our AC, where the room is there, if there is air going from outside, then what happens? The performance of the AC will reduces. So we have to blanket all these openings. And occupancy in the room, this is one of the variable. When occupancy in the room is on higher side, the AC could not give that much of chilling. Then it will try to consume, the compressor will be on, and it is trying to consuming the energy. So occupancy is also one of the variable. And finally, maintenance. Maintenance of the AC is one of the variable, because if I doesn't maintain my AC, it will not give the intended output. So to get the intended output, what I have to do? I have to do the maintenance of the ACs, like that, cleaning the air filters. The air filters will clog out by once in a 15 days. What we have to do? We have to remove the air filters and we have to clean for the smooth or efficient running of the AC. So like that, in fridge also, we are having some of the variables. So what are the variables? In fridge, we are storing the materials. The temperature of the materials which I am storing in the fridge is one of the variable. I cannot keep the hot materials in the fridge. So if I am going to keep in the fridge, I have to cool early before. And the frequent door openings, what the kids will do, they will do frequently open the door and close the door. That will also make the sense. And the ambient temperature, maintenance of the AC, proper cleaning of the AC, fridge. So these are all the variables. So when I am unable to implement the opportunity, try to control all the variables. I cannot make the energy to go waste. So I will try to conserve the energy by controlling the variables. So here I have to identify two opportunities. One is prioritized, and I'm going to implement the same to reduce my energy consumption of my house. So while during the conducting the initial audit, what I have to do? I have to fix a baseline. I have to fix a target for me, where what I have to do. For example, here in example, the baseline what I have did, the daily energy consumption. I have taken it one day, total 30 days consumption day wise, and I have plotted the out of the 30 days, the best achieved I have is 74 kWh per day. So can I take a target 76 as a target? No, because my aim is to reduce my energy consumption. So I will take the target below the best achieved. So based on that, I have just taken a 73 kWh as a target, and now I am going and I am trying to achieve my baseline by implementing the identified opportunities. Okay, next coming to the energy performance indicators. So what is the energy performance indicator of a house? So where it is reflecting? I am conserving energy. Where it is reflecting? So it is reflecting on my energy bills, because as I am going to conserve in a month, what will happen? The energy conservation, what I have implemented, the projects what I have completed, the result of the projects will be transferred to my energy bills. And it will indicate the reduction in my energy bills. So what is my performance indicator? My monthly power bill, where it is that drastic reduction is there not. If the energy bill is reduced, then I can achieve. And I can say I have succeeded in the energy management system. If it is not reduced, it means I have to rethink and I have to target another areas. Okay. Coming to the objective and targets. So in every area, when our intended is to conserve the energy, we have to identify the object. For example, in my house, I have divided my house into 5 rooms: kitchen, balcony, bedroom, hall, and I have identified number of areas. Each area I have identified the opportunity, and I am going to fix the objective for each area. Why? For the better improvement or the improve the energy efficiency of my house. I have taken individual areas objectives to improve the energy performance. Here, as an example, I have taken one thing. What will be our objective of implementing the entire management system in my house? The main objective of implementing the energy management system in my house is simple: to reduce my energy bill. Okay, as an individual, what I am thinking? As an individual, I am thinking for my benefit. What is my benefit? The reduction in the energy bills is my benefit. So I have targeted and I have taken an objective of reducing the monthly energy bill, say X%, 1%, 2%. For fixing the objective, what I need? I need to analyze the past data. You take the past data of any equipment. For example, if you are implementing a energy management system in your college, you just list out the equipments, you collect the past data. Data is very much important in the management. You collect the past data and you measure the data, monitor the data, and entire data you keep in a sheet and identify what is my previous best. Because we are implementing, I'm not going to take my target by next house. By next house, the fellow is there. He is consuming consuming less energy than me. But I think he may having the energy efficient products in his house. So that's why he is consuming, his consumption is less and his energy bill is less. But in my house, I am having these equipments. I cannot replace all the equipments at one time. I may change the equipments gradually, but I cannot replace one by one. So I have to fix the target myself from my own data, not from any other industry benchmark. In America, the best capital consumption is this much. In Europe, the best capital consumption is this much. So I can take the target from that. That will not make a sense. Let us take a target from our own data. Let us evaluate the past data of your facilities, your equipments, your systems, and your processes. All this data you analyze and you make your own target. You fix your own objective to achieve the target energy efficiency. Then later on, if you keep going, if one day you may become the role model, or you going to be the target for the others. Analyze it, the bills, and I have I identified that January 22 bill is on lesser side compared to all last 1 year data. So I have taken a target objective of 5% reduction when compared with the January 22 bill. So while taking the objective targets, the targets should be measurable, smart enough, and it should be traceable. So if it is not like only on paper sake you have taken, it will not make any sense. So how I will achieve the objectives? I have already identified the two. After that, one is more, it is not viable to me. So what I have taken? That I will achieve this 5% reduction in energy bill. Keep alerts with LED so that I can save around 32 kWh per a month. This is my target. Next, this only one cannot help because I have taken a target of 5%. The only 1% do not make a sense. Second, what I have taken, the optimizing of power consumption of ACs by controlling all the variables. So I will identify all the variables. and what are the variables which is impacting the performance, energy performance of my AC. And I will identify the variables, and I will target the variables, how I can control the variables. After that only I can save the energy. There I have targeted 5 kWh. So for entire thing, what you is the main critical role? Measurement, monitoring, data tracking. These are all the most important. Until and unless we will do the measurement, until and unless we do the data tracking, it is not possible in every area for the fixing the energy meters, all these things. Where you can calculate the energy consumption theoretically by using the formulas. What is the power consumption, what is the voltage level, and what is the current, and what is the diesel. If nothing is available with you, you take the diesel power consumption of the particular equipment. Yes, fridge. As a 5-star label, you can see the yearly consumption of the fridge is this much. So you take that one, and with that you derive the consumption. So you have to derive each and every area consumption, and you have to check the performance, and you have to plot the entire screen in a sheet. What is going to happen? What is going next? What we have to do? And finally, what happens if you taken the entire data in a place and fix the action plans with a target orientation? Until and unless without any target of completion, action plan completion, it is not possible. You just take a target to complete the action plans. Once the entire thing is happened, at the end of the month, you just sit in a room and review the entire performance. What is my last performance? And what I have implemented, where I have received. If it is your energy performance indicator means your monthly power bill is reduced, that means you have been succeeded in your energy consumption, implementing the energy management system. Like that, my advice is to conduct a energy review in your own college, because as a students you cannot get the opportunity in an industry. You may after your education you may go into the industry, but start from today. You just conduct an audit in your industry. Just list all the equipments. What are the equipments you are having, and how much we are consuming? Is it really required for the consumption? Okay, in that particular area, if its consumption is required, if it is not required, just cut it. If it is a waste, just reduce that waste. If there is a water leakage, arrest the water leakage, because if there is a water leakage is there and you are leaving the water, what is happening? For pumping that much of water, you are running a pump. There you are consuming your energy. So that water leakage is in a line is one of the variable for the pump efficiency. Okay. If you are able to control that water leakages, the variables will be addressed, then the energy performance of the pump is improved. So like that, in each and every area you identify. You just divide your college into different areas. You identify the total list, and where you for regarding opportunities. For example, if you are conducted an audit and if you are unable to identify the opportunities, just mail me the audit sheet. I will see the things, because as a student you may not have data for what you call latest technological availability in the market. Data is not available with you, so that if in your area the latest technological improvements will help, then I will provide the things. I will provide the data, and you can go and study on that particular equipment or this thing, and you will implement the same in your college. Just my sincere request to all is to implement the energy management system in your college and make your college as a role model in energy management system. Thank you. This is all from my side. Madhu?
Thank you, sir. If anybody have doubts, please unmute yourself. You can ask me. Any participants who have any doubts, please unmute yourself and you can ask the question. Anyone? Any participant?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Sir, I wanted to ask that with respect to the today's scenario, since we are having a lot of issues with respect to the climate, problems, and the global warming is one of the top priority in that. So, in that aspect, can we say that the initiative should be starting from the school level, and the school children should start to come out with the various innovations, or you can say various drives, so that the adults can also able to support them, and thereby this can build a great momentum towards the stop of the global warming?
Yes, sir, absolutely. Because that's where, sir, you may aware that the BEE is conducting the national level painting competition, and those are trying to create awareness from the school level. Here in our organization, we are every year we are conducting this competition, and we are inviting the model exhibitions, and we are for the students, school students, starting from the. I think you may not believe, from the LKG students we are creating the awareness, and because the kids which now these are the future generation, so we have to inculcate the nature culture in them for the better improvement of the our sustainable development and reduction of the global emissions.
So there's one more question.
Yes.
Sir, with respect to the paper usage, less paper usage and recycling the waste, especially we know that in India we are having so much of the usage of the paper, starting from the college level and even in the industries. And by the proper analysis, we can say that a lot of companies can able to do away with the paper work. That means paperless, activities can be performed. Like for example, in the COVID period, we know that a lot of companies can do work from home system. So like that, if it is able to get pressurized from the government itself to analyze and identify such companies and direct them, by giving them some deadline to convert to paperless work and things like that. So will it able to help in reducing the emissions and helping out in preventing the global warming?
Yes, sir, definitely. Because if you're using the paper means we are cutting the trees. So we have to there is a take initiative. As we are telling from government, it is not possible. We have to take the self responsibility to use the less paper and to use the what we call the medias, what we are nowadays available in all these things, and use those medias and try to reduce the paper usage. That will help the nation, because from the everything we cannot take from the government. Government will not do anything, but they will do. I think in future they make some activities.
Any questions from participants?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
मैं शालिग्राम सोनी ये पूछना चाहता हूँ कि सोलर कुकिंग और सोलर ड्राइंग को अपन अगर शामिल करते हैं तो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग कम होगा, उसके ऊपर क्या प्लानिंग है गवर्नमेंट की या क्या एनजीओस की? इसको अपन कैसे बड़ा अभियान बना सकते हैं? सोलर कुकिंग और सोलर ड्राइंग जो क्लीन एनर्जी है, स्वच्छ और हरित ऊर्जा का उपयोग है, इसके ऊपर आपकी कोई कमेंट?
एक्चुअली आप जो बोल रहे थे वो तो ठीक है. Solar government has taken the number of initiatives for the COP. हम लोग जो दिया था टारगेट, उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट 7 मिशंस फॉर्म किया था. नेशनल एमिशन ऑफ एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी एंड सोलर पावर यूसेज एंड बचत लैंप योजना. All these activities, the government has taken 7 initiatives. The way the Minister of Power under the to BE जो वो लोग कर रहे हैं एक्टिविटीज, उसमें सोलर में भी they are taking the activities. उसका जो है वो धीरे धीरे बढ़ के जा रहे हैं. बट इंडिविजुअल सोलर हाउसेस दोस थिंग्स, गवर्नमेंट इज गिविंग सब्सिडीज. कुछ एरिया में दे रहा है गवर्नमेंट, वो एरिया में जाके वो ऑलरेडी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए गवर्नमेंट इज रेडी फॉर द बिकॉज हमारा जो सोलर यूसेज है वो बढ़ाना चाहिए, उसके लिए वो करना है। तो ऑलरेडी गवर्नमेंट सोलर मिशन इज देयर, नेशनल रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी सोर्स का जो है वो लोग 2 वर्किंग ऑन दैट।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Any other participants? Unmute yourself and ask the question. I think there is no questions from the participant side. So this is the time to close the session. Commissioner, please stop sharing.
Okay, it is stopped.
Yeah. So for the group photo session, please switch on your cameras, everyone. Please switch on your cameras, please, everyone. Please switch on your cameras. At a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wait for 1 second. Wait for 2 minutes. Wait. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm sharing the feedback link in the chat box. Please fill the chat box.
Sir, group photo, sir?
Yeah, it's over. Thank you very much. You can switch off your cameras. Thank you. Ramya, you please close the vote of thanks. Ramya?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Close the session.
Firstly, I would like to thank our management and principal, Dr. S. Suresh Kumar, sir of SCED, for giving permission to organizing the webinar and inviting guest speaker. Now, I would like to thank our webinar speaker, NSKS Kameswarara Rao, for enlightening us with his knowledge. I would like to thank V. Madhu sir, Associate Professor, PES Chapter Advisor, who really worked the staff members, students, participants for making this webinar as a grand success. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kamesh sir, for giving your valuable sessions to the student community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Participants, please fill the feedback link to get the certificate. Thank you for joining with us.